Damn. Oh man, so X is being naughty now. You have to have a premium subscription.
Do you have to like pay for that? The way premiums, that's what they call premium subscriptions and streaming services.
Yeah, but that was weird. So for those of you just tuning in, you know, I usually go live on X, also known as Twitter, in conjunction with YouTube and Twitch. And oddly enough, it informs me as I hit the go live button through StreamYard that, hey, you can't do that anymore. How weird is that?
We'll have to check that out, see what's what.
That's super weird. They should have let me know when I scheduled the live stream instead of like popping up things like, hey, these, you know, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Come on. That's messed up. And Facebook, I can't go live through Facebook anymore either, so
it's falling apart. We're falling apart around here.
StreamYard is really falling apart, man. I feel like all the platforms, they need to get some deals going with those people if they want to promote this whole multi-streaming thing.
But you know, but now we have TikTok.
But now we do have TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok.
Yeah, I'm streaming live from TikTok right now as well, which is fun. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the live streaming on that platform, so who knows? Might be cool. I don't know. But folks, look.
Let's get into it.
Tonight, we are going to talk about Longlegs. Because this movie was being hyped everywhere you look on the internet.
Yeah.
You could not escape the hype train that is Longlegs.
I mean, I escaped.
You did escape. I didn't escape. I wanted to go see it.
No, I'm saying I escaped. For some reason, I escaped the hype. I wasn't getting any hype until I got it in person. I got hype
That's
from
true.
like those we know, like our friend JK, like Jaren, like, you know. I was getting the word of mouth, old school style, you know?
Yeah, and folks, if you haven't checked out my review on Longlegs, search it up, Paul Horror Longlegs, or hopefully you're signed up for notifications at this point, but I was worried about it because I know that people get what I call early see-itis, and they also get this like exclusivity feeling where if a movie goes to select theaters or it's on the what do you call that, like the convention circuits, what are those called, the film festival. If it's on the film festival circuit and people see them because they're not open to the general public or the general public doesn't have access to it, people feel snooty.
Oh no,
people feel snooty.
Fair. I think people get excited.
They get excited and they feel like they're a part of something that others aren't. So I feel like they think things are better than what they were. So I was worried about Longlegs in that sense.
Yeah, it's just people got really, really pumped, really excited, and I feel like that happens for us even sometimes when we go to see a movie in the theater. We get so excited, we get that maybe it's a little better than it actually was, like just, you know, because we were so excited to be there. We were excited to get the popcorn and the slushie and you know, whatever. Absolutely.
And I do want to say welcome to the stream, everybody. We have Jeremy in here, Longleg or Clark. Longleg Clark, that's his new name. Sorry, Clark. I was reading his comment here. You know, he says Longlegs was a bit of a slow burn, which I don't mind. The third act was genuinely creepy AF. I was impressed. Okay, so we are going to get to that, you know, and I'm going to try not to spoil anything, but
I think like we could probably keep like at least the first half of the stream spoiler free, right?
I think so.
And then if we have to get into spoilers at the end, we can always throw out a warning.
Yeah.
Warning.
Yeah. So I was weary, and we went. It was a little bit of an impromptu theatrical run.
It was a midweek, we gotta go kind of thing.
It was, and let me tell you something, man. I don't know. Okay, so Clark is correct. Longlegs is a slow burn. It is a very slow burn. But
which we don't mind.
We don't mind.
We love a good slow burn.
But the first 45 minutes, I was into this movie.
Yeah.
I was deeply into this movie. It's like a murder mystery. It's been compared a lot to Silence of the Lambs. I was really into it. But the people around us...
Oh, you had a hard time.
I had a hard time.
Which, you know, is the opposite of what we were just talking about, where a theater experience can get you pumped on a movie.
Yeah, it can. But I had a hard time because, number one, we get into the theater, our screening room, whatever you want to call it.
Uh-huh.
And people now they do this thing where you have assigned seating, where you have to pick out your seats on a computer before you go into the theater, which is kind of a pain in the ass. It's like, whatever. But people were sitting in our seats, and Longlegs was surprisingly packed.
It was.
And we had 4 people with us.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a party of 4, excuse me.
Yes. Yeah.
So we needed the seats we selected.
Yeah.
And I had to ask someone, the lady sitting beside of me had so much stuff in my seat that it took up my entire seat, and I had to ask her to move that. So that was rough. And she was loaded down with so much perfume, and perfume has never bothered me. Cologne has never bothered me. I wear cologne, you wear perfume. Mm-hmm. This chick bathed in it, man. She must have fell into a damn bathtub full of this shit, because it made me actively, like, nauseous.
That's so weird. Yeah, that's so unlike
Until
you.
I got used to it.
I can't even, like, picture that happening for you. That's so weird.
But here's the bad part. Okay, I can deal with that. First damn... Oh, it started with the previews. People were on their phones in front of it. So...
You give a little, like, I feel like in the previews, for me at least, I give a little leeway.
I do too. People I don't care about the previews because the lights haven't even come down.
Right.
But I'm saying it started that early. And you would think, so I give leeway as well. I'm like, well, once the movie starts, these people will surely put their phone away.
Surely.
They didn't. This girl did not.
No.
She did not whatsoever. And I'm saying this because I'm like, I was enthralled with the first 45 minutes or so of the movie. She didn't give a shit. I don't even know why she was there, but she was on her phone from the word get. So I had to tell her, you know, I'm a few rows back, and I have to tell front row.
Put your phones down.
Put your phones down. Thank you.
Because it was, I don't know if it was true from your angle, but from mine, there were 2. There were 2 girls sitting next to each other who were just...
Oh, so I could only see one.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and people who go to see films know this. People who, the HorrorFam knows this. They are edited in a way to where there is a lot. Let's pretend there's a line on your screen. Excuse me, we'll get the camera to turn back on. Pretend that doesn't happen either. But there is a line on your screen. This is usually your eye level in a film.
Uh-huh.
This is where you draw the viewer's attention. This is everything pretty much that you want the viewer to focus on is going to be within that line.
Yeah.
So you never have stuff here in each scene. Like it's going to be here. Next scene's going to be here. Next scene's going to be here. Like they're all on this plane. You never have shit that's up here, down here, up here on different scenes. Like you don't do that. It's disorienting to the viewer.
Yeah.
So every time this girl would pull her phone up, it distracted me because it's right here, like every time. So I couldn't focus that well.
That's too bad, because I would argue that the first 20-30 minutes of the movie were the best 20-30 minutes of the movie.
Wow. And I was enthralled, but it's like she would pull it up and I'm watching her look at her selfies, watch videos.
So she just didn't want to be there like at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, and I feel like that would be distracting in any kind of movie, but I think in a suspense film, that's worse.
It was hard, and
worser.
It was hard. So, but I will say, man, this movie, as it went on, I started seeing more people get just distracted, like they weren't into this movie at all, especially by the end of it. I started seeing people do this, leaning into their partner's head to keep themselves up. I saw people yawning.
Yeah.
I verbally heard people laughing at the film in parts you don't laugh at.
Yeah.
I heard active groaning.
There was a lot of laughing, which, you never want to hear in a horror film in a scene that's not purposely meant to be funny, right?
Yeah, there was people actively groaning, and when it was over, you heard people say stuff like, well, that fucking sucked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we were definitely so it was a very crowded theater, and we were definitely in a crowd of people who didn't enjoy the film.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, sometimes you're sitting there wondering to yourself if you're the only one who feels like, is it just me? And this theater was not, which is interesting because I feel like it's getting good reviews. It's got, the theater chemistry last night was off for Longlegs. Like no one in the theater really enjoyed that film, which is interesting.
And Jeremy's saying, so you're saying she was a Karen? No, when I told her to get off of her phone, she put her phone down.
Yeah. That
was it. She didn't complain. A Karen would have probably thrown a fit. It's like, nah, she got off her phone, but, and
somebody behind us made a delayed comment a few minutes later. I don't know if you heard it. If it was something along the lines of the nerve of you know what I mean?
The nerve.
It was something along those lines. That's not what it was, but I can't, for some reason, I'm not recalling exactly what they said, but it was a dude making that kind of comment. And I was just
the nerve that he doesn't have to say that to another man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't hear him say it, but he was saying it to women. It's I can't believe that guy up there.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe that.
It's funny too because I feel like I've been to other movies here in West Virginia where people don't ask quietly for someone to turn their phone off. They make a very loud statement to the, you know what I mean? So it's not like you're the first person I've ever heard do that. It's
But I'm saying, it's bro, I can't, I'm sorry that, I paid money to see this movie. I want to see the movie. I don't want to see her cell phone.
It's interesting to me, and this is wow. I feel like maybe not, shouldn't even get into it because I feel like it's such a wild segue, right? This is all we're talking about is theater etiquette, but it is surprising to me that the people sitting closest to the people on their phones aren't the ones dealing with it. It's then you can literally just be like, oh, excuse me, can you get off your phone? It's right. But they don't. It takes somebody, 4 rows back who's just getting this light flashed in their face to say something. It's
right.
Why is that? Why isn't it the person directly behind them, giving them a nice quiet tap on the shoulder?
Yeah, dude, you mind?
Could you do?
Yeah. Grassman's want to know, do we have screen yellers down there? What is that?
No, people who talk to the screen out loud in the movie theater.
No.
He does. But it's someone who lives in his house. And it's only when we're at home. I don't do it at the movie theater, but I do it to him when we're home.
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah. Hannah does that.
But only at home.
Yeah.
Only at home.
Yeah, but no, Jeremy, she wasn't using her phone to pirate the movie. She was using I watched her because I could see her phone. Like I said, she was looking at selfies she had taken of herself, looking at videos. She was watching videos at like,
she was with somebody who wanted to see the movie and she didn't, so she was doing what you would do maybe at home when you're sitting next to somebody on the couch and you don't want to watch their movie. Like that's how she was behaving. Hi, Ryan.
The weird thing is, Longlegs is such like a niche movie, in my opinion. Like, it's not, this shit didn't come out like it's Titanic. It's like one of those, low budget movies with great marketing that just caught on, and people are going to see it and they're kind of like frothing at the mouth to go see this movie. You would think people wouldn't just casually stroll in like they're watching fucking Titanic or something. Like,
I feel that way about horror films in general.
Yeah.
But I've dealt with that more in horror films than in literally any other kind of movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people go to the theater to see a horror film that don't actually want to watch a horror film, and so they check out and they're on their phone. Like,
weird.
Yeah, because I just as like a good like example, like I went to see all of the Marvel movies in the theater, and I never dealt with any of them. Like, it's just people were there. They were in it.
Weird, dude. You would think horror fans would be more into the shit.
I don't know. I don't know if people think like they go because their friends went and they think it's cool, or I
don't know.
It does tend, Anyways, let's get back to Longlegs.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. The marketing was off the chain, but I was not a fan of that movie. I feel like comparing that to something like The Silence of the Lambs, which was a comparison I heard over and over again, I was like, that's just an insult to that movie.
Well, let's talk about what we liked about it.
What I liked about
What did you like about Longlegs?
I liked the cinematography a good bit.
Yeah, it was a pretty film.
It was a pretty film. I liked the color grading. I liked the gimmicks. There's there's certain points in the film where it's in a 4:3 aspect ratio, so you get the old tube TV look. I liked that they did the title cards. I liked that the intro card was that old school like candy apple / ketchup red, and it, it says Longlegs on it. Like, I thought that was cool. It's like when you watch the original Dracula or some shit, or well, not even that old, but like something from the 40s or 50s. So I liked those aspects of it. I liked the best thing about it was Nicolas Cage, but he was also underutilized is probably the best word for that. He was like, you said it best when you said that it's like a thriller movie that they're trying to make scary, and they dropped a cartoon character into the movie.
Yeah.
But I liked Nicolas Cage. I think they should have utilized him a lot better.
Yeah. I think he's and he's an actor that I really enjoy, that I really respect a lot. I think he's become a bit of a caricature in our...
he's a gimmick himself.
Yeah. Like, and
Nicolas Cage is an absolute gimmick.
And I feel like the filmmakers hired him for that instead of hiring him for his acting expertise. Yeah. And so that's how they used him. Like, and it didn't fit. It felt very jarring.
Yeah.
Like, it felt very, and they reveal his face first of all, like, too soon in the film, but also his bizarreness too soon in the film. Yeah. So this because we were set up with the comparison of Silence of the Lambs, and we used that a lot while we were like talking about the film afterwards and analyzing the film. And one of the things we talked about is if you were watching Silence of the Lambs for the first time, and Bill did his iconic like dance scene at the beginning of the film, it was one of the first things you ever saw of him. It would have been harder to take his character seriously the whole rest of the movie. But
like it showed up at a properly placed point in the film to drive home, like, Because he doesn't start off as this crazy character.
Well, okay, because of this, this is how it works. Like, I think, right? Is you're already so afraid of him by that point that when you see him do that, it just makes you more afraid of him. Like, because it's like, this is how deeply unhinged he is, right? Yeah. So it's like, if they had done that, right? If they had just kept him creepy and almost monotone, and then towards the end reveal this other side of him that is over the top and kooky and whatever, you would have been like, oh my god, it's so scary. Like, he goes totally unhinged sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like that. But instead, it's like he's wildly unhinged from the get-go, and all I could think was, how is no one in this neighborhood pointing and going, he's the murderer? Clearly, this very scary man is the murderer.
Grassman, nobody deleted your comment, bro. Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, no.
So,
did you type something you shouldn't have? Because we didn't delete it.
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't seen anything from you in a while. But yeah, so the character that Nicolas Cage plays in this is like, does everybody remember that 90s trope when everybody was afraid of the internet? Do you remember when everybody was scared to death? Like, parents were scared to death of chat rooms.
Shouldn't they have been?
So Hollywood, they should be scared more now than ever.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
But the 90s people were scared to death of chat rooms. So you got a lot of Hollywood cash-ins on creepy dudes in the chat room, and we all remember, like, those dudes had a certain look to them that was just outrageous. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, BTK, all of them have proven, like, serial killers don't look like that, bro.
They just look like your neighbor.
They just look like this dude looked like a 90s serial killer.
Yeah, for sure.
Like some shit from Campfire Tales or Campfire Tales or Strangeland.
Yeah.
You know, any of them, dude.
JK says, I found him uncomfortably androgynous in the film. Agreed. But they should have, like, hung back. Does that, like, make sense? Like, what do you think about that? And then I think, was it Chad who said if he's not making 500 different facial expressions, he's underutilized? Agreed. And they put him in these, like, facial prosthetics that like literally robbed him of facial expression.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage was not utilized in the way that he is now, and he could have been for that character. They wanted, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, it just, come on, man. Yeah, so I want to know by a show of hands up, who has seen this movie so far? I'm just curious, who all has seen Longlegs? Let's get a show of hands in here, people. I know Pinhead has seen it because he was talking about some of the theater goers with him. Somebody was, like, kicking his seat the whole time. And
yeah.
You know,
we know JK has seen it. We know Pinhead has seen it. I think Brian Perry said he had seen it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not me.
Brian Perry. Okay. So, yeah, Chad says he's not even sure if he's going to. It's one of those that I would certainly suggest waiting until you could watch that at home.
Yeah, I wouldn't go so far as to say, like, don't see it. I just wouldn't go to the theater.
And
I mean, unless you're, like, one of those people who goes every week and needs something new to see.
Yeah.
Sure, throw it in a hat. If you're the type of person who goes once every few months and you wait for something really, really great to cash out, to spend all that cash on a movie theater, wait, this isn't the one.
No.
This isn't.
No, not at all.
Or it wasn't for us.
And, I may watch it again once it is, on a streaming service of some sort.
I would watch, I'd see it again.
Yeah, because the theatrical experience was not good. Like I said, I don't know what the hell was up with the audience we saw it with.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
weird.
But it did turn it into a whole like bad vibe in the theater, because I don't think anybody in our theater enjoyed the film. There were lots of moans and groans. There were lots of laughter. Yeah.
But Grassman, I still have no idea why it's called Longlegs. I even addressed that in the review. I'm like, so did this, like, what was the whole purpose of that? Like, that never got explained.
No, there's like a one-off comment in like the opening scene of the film, because Nicolas Cage's character is talking to a child, and he's like, "Oh, my long legs," and he crouches down to be on like eye level with it, and that's literally it. Like, and then that's just what he calls himself is long legs. Like, so that's it. Yeah. That's why that's it.
So like, maybe he's just one of those weirdos who wanted to give himself his own nickname, like Jay and Ernie from Hocus Pocus. He's Ice.
So, yeah, totally. So I enjoyed I'm with you. I really enjoyed the cinematography. I enjoyed the acting.
I enjoyed the viral marketing of it.
Yeah.
The viral marketing sucked me in, I guess. I must have enjoyed that.
I enjoyed the concept as well. I don't think it was executed as well as it could have been. And I say that because, like I said, like the first 30, maybe even more minutes of the film, like, had me like this, and I was like hooked. And then the pacing, like, it's like the pacing of a thriller's gotta be just right to keep you in that oh, this is so tense, scary kind of feeling. And so if the pacing is off and you fall out of that, like, that's what happened to me. I just kind of fell out of it. Like, I fell out of the adrenaline kind of like, oh God, what's gonna happen thing. And I'm hearing that that's like not true for some people. Some people, came in and said like, Clark came in and said like the last 30 minutes of the movie, like, really scared him. And it was like, and that wasn't true for me. Like, for me, the last 30 minutes of the film, like, really. So I think it just kind of probably depends on the person. For sure. Like, because for me, the last 30 minutes of the movie they felt tacked on, and they felt like too much of it was being told as a story as opposed to and I think I love like old detective films, and I'm talking like film noir type, like old detective, and like I love that they slowly piece things together. That's what you're watching, is the slow revelation of things and this brilliant mind that figures things out. And I feel like we had that in the first half an hour. You've got this brilliant young agent who's figuring things out. I don't think they did a really great job of showing you how she was figuring out. That's okay. That's fine. I still enjoyed that she was figuring things out. And then that stopped. And you're just kind of getting like smacked in the face with so much information in the last 30 minutes instead of getting that like clever detective.
But the last 30 minutes isn't. The last 30 minutes is literally a voiceover explanation.
Well, that's what I mean.
Like, it's not some sort of revelation that's, that you get to watch unfold in front of you like a Saw twist. It was literally a voiceover explanation.
Yeah.
So it felt to me like those last 30 minutes. I see Pinhead talking about the last 30 minutes here. It felt like that was just spliced on. It felt like it was just spliced on, dude. Like they didn't know where they wanted the story to go, and they just threw that in there and saw if it would stuck, and that was just good enough for them. I feel like we didn't get a proper conclusion to that movie at all.
Yeah.
for what they set up. It's almost watching an ending to a different film. Like,
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pinhead is saying he loves slow burn films when they actually pay off, and this one did not.
Yeah. And it's hard to go into that more without spoiling all over the place. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Let's see here. Jeremy is asking, did we like the Black Phone? Yeah. I like the Black Phone, dude. Ethan Hawke, he's laying that law down like it needs to be laid, I
did like the Black Phone. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if there could be a Longlegs 2.
Yeah.
I could see with their, hell, they can do anything with their writing. We saw that in the first one.
True.
But so they could shoehorn a Longlegs 2, but
I hope not.
I hope not, man. I hope not.
Yeah, it was not set up for a sequel.
No.
If that's what you mean. No. I don't think so.
No.
I feel like that's usually really obvious, right? When they've set you up for a sequel, and this wasn't that. I didn't think it was an obvious setup for a sequel.
No. I also would like a show of hands for who watched my review video of Longlegs I released today. I know Pinhead has. He said he really liked it. He's like, that was a nice road trip review. I just want to see who else.
Pinhead.
Yeah, Pinhead, man, laying it down. We also had a request on that video to review In a Violent Nature.
Okay.
That would be pretty tough to get through. Brian Perry watched it. I want to know what everybody thought of the road trip review, if you liked that. Pinhead said the review was better than the film, to be honest. Well, I would love to know I'd love to know what you think about it, because I just want to know if I should do more reviews, and if so, should I even include road trip reviews in those? Brian Perry liked it. It was a little difficult because, number one, it's been a long time since I've done one of those, and just the camera was having a hard time in the low light, as I'm sure you could tell.
Yeah.
And we were very windy. We were so excited for that movie. We were very windy, and but I feel like we info dumped without giving out any spoilers, which was...
We did? Did we? Did we manage to info dump without spoiling anything?
I feel like we did. Pinhead, would you agree with that? I don't think we went into anything so in this one part, Detective Shyamalan walks into the bathroom and takes a piss, but there's an alligator in the toilet there.
We didn't see that. We didn't give away the alligator in the toilet.
We didn't tell anybody about the alligator in the toilet. They'll never hear that from us.
They'll never hear that from me. That's good.
Pinhead wants us to do more. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a Strangers Chapter 1 review tomorrow if we hit our goal.
I feel like
I'll make that happen, dude, and get it up with the quickness. Of course, that would be in the studio, but...
Okay, Pinhead says no spoilers. Brian Perry says no spoilers. Okay, great. Okay, so there you go, Artsy. Go ahead and watch it. We didn't do any spoilers.
And plus, if you've ever, for those of you who haven't watched it, if you ever want to know what it's like to ride to the theater with us, that's a good indication.
Get to see it.
It's a good representation.
And what it's like to ride home from the theater with us, because we do that.
Yeah.
Even when we're not filming.
Yeah, we talk about it. And this theater, because Longlegs, of course, is kind of one of those sleepers that became popular, so it's only has a limited theatrical release. We had to drive to the theater that's an hour away.
Yeah.
So you get an extended cut out of this one, but I'm glad we stopped filming when we did, because when we stopped to get a late dinner, oh my god, dude, it started storming so bad. I was expecting power to be off when we got home.
Yeah, we had a horrible drive home. It was scary.
Yeah. Well, SJM, dude, you're going to have to take a phone with you and just pull up the Talk Horror road trip reviews and listen to those instead of the radio. Listen to this lovely, lovely voice.
Here it is.
You could listen to the whole time. We ate at McDonald's. We were not healthy last night, and
No, and we had 2 teenage boys with us and had to feed everybody, and it just seemed
that
like
was the safest place to stop.
And surprisingly, there isn't a whole lot open at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Out here, no.
So yeah, McDonald's was one of our only options.
Yeah. That's it, man.
Yeah.
Chad Edmonds wants to know, are you going to watch Twister?
Obviously.
Twister.
Obviously. We love the original.
We do. And I saw the original in theaters when I was a child.
So did I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Remember the kick-ass Van Halen song that accompanied that they did just for the soundtrack? Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. So I think it looks fun.
Yeah, I hope Twisters is good. I'm gonna have to check it out. And
it's got that dude from Maverick in it.
And it's one of those movies that you have to watch in theaters.
Oh yeah.
Like it will never. I don't give a damn if you have a 600-inch TV at home.
It'll never be the same.
With your bullshit 2-channel surround sound, like it will never be as good as watching that bad boy in the theaters, provided someone's not on their phone or kicking your seat or dousing themselves in cologne.
These high intensity films, like, people watch.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're so bright and loud that maybe you don't notice it.
Right. Dude, I swear, I think the HorrorFam is just going to have to pull together, guys. I think we're just going to have to own our own theater. Like, I don't know if I can take any more of what happened last night, man. That was rough.
You know...
And I love the theater. You know how much I love the theater, but my God.
And it was a Wednesday night, right? Because I was gonna say, well, we'll just have to be careful about where and when we go. But it was a Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday.
And the theater was packed. So.
Whoa.
What can you do?
Like Ethan says, he misses the creepy voice in -- What do you mean, Ethan? In a world. Nancy is trying to get some sleep, but someone else has other plans. Oh my God, dude! Yeah, I miss that guy so much. I can't remember. I know his name, and I can't think of it right now. But yes, humans being there. You go, Pinhead. Badass. But I want to ask you this, Pinhead, since you've seen it. And JK too, if he's still in here. It was JK and Pinhead. They're the ones who've seen it, right?
Uh-huh.
Nobody else has?
No.
So I want to know, guys, do you agree with me in the feeling that this was one of those movies where everyone whispers the whole time they're talking?
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. And then they would try to like jar you with loud random noises. Static.
What do you mean, Steven?
What do you mean?
I think all humans speak very modulated all the time.
JDN Studios hasn't even watched the movie yet. Wow. That's very...
We just saw it last night.
Yes, that was... He's probably in here like, you guys are some fucking weirdos,
what
dude.
Did I
like,
just walk in on?
Well, you guys are fucking long legs. I'm getting out of here, man. Yes, Don LaFontaine. Thank you, Chad Edmonds. Yeah, the movie voiceover guy.
LaFontaine. Yeah.
Oh man, I love that. Oh, hi, Mark.
For a false sense of drama, is that what they think that creates? Interesting.
Yeah, it was like the lead FBI agent, the female, was just so drab, dude. Just so drab, unsure of herself, scared, boring. Yeah. Like, how the hell did you get through the academy, dude? Yeah, Chad picked it up. I did not hit her. I did not. SJM picked it up too. I hit Anna with this all the time.
Oh, all the time.
All the time. In a world.
In a world. I always say that about we'll narrate what we're doing with that.
Yeah, for sure.
We do.
Yeah. When you have to cook broccoli for your loved ones. Oh, Artsy, come on. Come on. Artsy's being modest. She knows. She came in, threw down some film references.
She knows.
Oh, hi, Mark. Oscar Bait Whispers. There you go, Pinhead.
Funny.
Oscar Bait Whispers.
If we speak really quietly, they'll think we're making a very
and you gotta do
impressive film.
And you gotta do the concern face. Like they ask her a question. So what do you think his motives are?
I don't know if he has a motive.
His motives are otherworldly. They're otherworldly.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. Hail Satan. That's it. Oh my God, Chad. Yeah. Sunday. Come down to Monster Jam.
You've given that a really strange accent.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like a 60s carnival.
Sunday. Come
down to Monster Jam, where Gravedigger takes on Iron Horse for the coveted Mud Bowl Championship. Oh yeah, dude, man. Hey, dude, that's when announcing, dude, they would just grab you by the testes and they would not let you go, dude. It's like you had no choice but to go to Monster Jam after that.
You had to go to Monster Jam.
Hell yeah, dude. That was the best shit, man. They need to unleash me on the radio. I'll bring it back.
Dude, the first time I attended a luchador match.
Oh my God.
I don't know if anybody else in the chat ever been to a luchador match. So the first one I ever attended. That's some of the best announcing I've ever heard in my life, and it's very fast. And I don't speak Spanish, so I'm not making fun here. I'm like, and then you hear it's sponsored by, right? Coca-Cola. It's amazing.
Oh my God, it's like Linus Tech Tips.
Oh good.
Dude, who else has watched Linus Tech Tips? Because I hit people with this. The Linus Tech Tips, it's a tech channel. He used to have a television show. He's the chef's kiss at segueing into sponsors.
He's so good.
But he's always sponsored by Skillshare, and the way he unleashes that, I don't know how. He's like a snake that can regurgitate his testicles up into his throat. But he always hits it with today's video sponsor is Skillshare! How does he do that? Shit hurts so bad.
I don't know.
And he's so pumped when he does it.
But you remember it. Just like my siblings and I will always remember that Coca-Cola.
Oh my God.
Yes, JM, I wasn't so much confused as I was surprised.
Yeah.
By the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it's like all this shit, and then suddenly you just hear. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah. Yes, it's like an auction announcer. It is. It's very, very quick. Very intense. It's fantastic.
How do they talk that fast?
How does I don't know. I don't know how people at the auction people do that.
That shit sounds like a broken weed eater.
Yeah. All right, JK says, I think the comparison with Silence of the Lambs revolves around the movie basically being about a female FBI agent trying to track down a serial killer. That basic premise is kind of the only thing it had in common.
That's it. I mean, that's it. It's like, well, she happens to be a chick, and she happens to be a cop, and there happens to be
an
serial
FBI
killer.
agent. Yeah.
I mean,
and of course, Longlegs is intended to be as comfortable as Buffalo Bill. See, so that's why I said some part of what works about how uncomfortable Bill makes you is that it's dragged out. You see almost his brutality.
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Right. And there's nothing more terrifying than somebody who is going to lure you into the back of a van and hit you over the head. Right. Like that's just immediate, like man, woman, it doesn't matter. That's scary. Like somebody is going, you know, like, and then when he gets very creepy and weird later in the film, you're already afraid of him. So him being this kind of over the top bizarre guy makes him more scary instead of less scary. And I think like the audience, I didn't laugh, but a lot of the people in the audience did when Nick Cage did a lot. And that told me immediately, too soon. Yeah. If he had gone over the top and weird later in the film, so that first you're afraid of him, then he gets weird, and if that makes you more afraid of him, like that, it would have worked, right? But it's like he's immediately ridiculous. So why are you afraid? Like why am I afraid? He's ridiculous. Like he's just like that.
Like, dude, it's like that. It's like we talk about with the It chapter bullshit remakes, and I like them, whatever. Not the second one. I like the It chapter 1.
I like the second one.
But it's like, my problem with that versus Tim Curry's version of Pennywise is that Tim Curry's version of Pennywise could have tricked your ass. He looked like a clown.
Yeah.
You know, It chapter 1, that son of a bitch was an evil entity from the moment you saw him. It's like, he is not tricking anybody. Georgie's ass ain't going near him in a sewer drain. Like, so Longlegs, Nicolas Cage, as soon as you see this son of a bitch, you're calling the cops. It's like, I could see him walking down the railroad tracks outside, and I'd be like, cops. I see some weird shit on a daily, but this one takes the cake, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think that's one of the things I said in the review, like on the drive home. I was like, so they show him interacting with people in his everyday life. He goes to, this isn't a spoiler, I don't think, like he goes to a hardware store, and the young woman working behind the counter is afraid of him.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, Dad.
and she says the weirdo is back.
Right. And
which means he shows up there often. He acts fucking weird. Everybody in town knows he's weird, but these motherfuckers can't find a goddamn serial killer who's been on the lam for 30 fucking years.
Yeah, he's been active for almost 30 years and no one's caught him.
What the fuck are y'all doing?
But all the people in the town are afraid of him because he's like a weirdo.
That's it. I figured it out. I figured out the real fucking plot.
What's the real plot?
And why she's so goddamn weird. It's because she's not, none of them are real FBI agents. They're the fucking flunkies.
No.
And they're just like, well, shit, we didn't have anything else, anyone else apply.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the movie. And you know what? Hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But if y'all think that shit, if y'all think long-legged Nicolas Cage makes y'all uncomfortable, you wait, because I got some videos coming up.
I mean, I think like
that's going to make you supremely uncomfortable.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting out the supplies tomorrow, and you're going to get my iterations of Longlegs.
We need to be better, and by we I mean you, because I'm just along for the ride. Technically, it's your channel.
The hell I do
of doing some movie reviews on movies we like.
Well, yeah, but I can't help it. Everybody wants us to review the new shit, but the problem is with this new shit, these people get adamant. And by people, I'm not talking about the horror fan, because we're elevated fans, okay? I'm talking about the fucking Facebook crowd. Everybody gets adamant about these movies like Bird Box, or all these bullshit movies that were just supremely huge for 2 weeks. They go viral. People make the damn Bird Box challenge. When's the last time you even heard anybody talk about Bird Box?
I never even saw it.
There you go. It's like people get adamant about these damn movies, and it's like, well, I should review that.
I mean, I think...
Or Malignant. When the hell's the last time everybody was on that thing's nuts?
Oh, and everybody was on our butt about that because we didn't like it.
And now nobody remembers it exists.
Everybody was so mad at us for not liking it. And then now none of you talk about it. Don't
talk to them, but ain't the horror fam.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got a lot of crap.
Not from them. It was from the others.
From the
It was the ones we weeded out.
The ones who are gone now.
The ones we do not
who are
speak.
no longer with us.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I get it. I think the horror fandom is an enthusiastic, excited, happy fandom, and they get excited. I think that's awesome. I just think the sad thing is, I think it's a heavily saturated genre, and so there's content is being thrown at us all the time. And so it's hard to weed through. And when something is a little better than the last thing you watched, you're stoked. Yeah. I mean, that's how I am, right? If something that's, oh man, it was better. We just watched that, stinker last night. This was better than that. I'm happy.
Well, and the thing is, it's like,
JK never even saw Malignant. Good for you, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it, but the thing is, I try, and when I do like something, I talk about it forever and tell anybody, man. It's like I tell people, I like Deadstream, so motherfuckers hear me preach about Deadstream for 6 months because that's the last truly good horror film I watched. Or The Conjuring keeps coming. See, that is the thing. Something like The Conjuring. Mm-hmm. The Witch, It Follows. Those movies are like timeless because they were different and they did something and they were effective. So people still talk about that shit. Ain't nobody talking about Malignant or Bird Box now, and that's the problem. Like, when people ask, dude, will you suggest me a movie? I have to pull some shit out of my ass that's 10 years old. Like, the newest thing I can suggest you was The Conjuring until Deadstream, or It Follows, or The Witch. It's like, those are almost a damn decade old now. So it's like, it's not my fault, but I mean, and it just so happens that tonight's goal, if we hit it, I'm going to review another movie I didn't like, which is The Strangers Chapter 1. And you'll get that tomorrow. But I mean, that piece of shit, why did that exist? Why is that what we needed right now?
Yeah.
I mean, damn, the first two were good. The Strangers is one of those movies that I will talk about forever because it was good.
Dude, the first Strangers film, was genuinely terrifying to me. Yeah. It was really scary.
But I mean, and you know what? Maybe I need to do. You're talking about I need to be more positive and stuff on here, or we do. Maybe just I need to do maybe like Abigail. Because I did like Abigail. I liked Violent Night.
We liked Lisa Frankenstein.
We liked Lisa Frankenstein. But I mean, I still, and you know what? I mean, I'm trying to hit the goal here for The Strangers Chapter 1, so I'm not going to go on a review tangent. I'm fucking still confused. Was that a remake, a reboot, a reshoot? What the hell was that? Well, it definitely
wasn't a remake in the sense, you and I argue over what that word means all the time. So by my definition, it wasn't a remake. They did not use the original story or script. So a reboot or a prequel, or when you say Chapter 1, right? You're either implying a prequel.
Well, I'll tell you now, it's Rennie Harlan, so I know for a damn fact it's a sequel or a prequel.
Right.
That's all he can do. Hollywood has limited him to that. Wise Bandit says there's so many theories about Longlegs' backstory. I wish the damn movie would have gave us what Longlegs' backstory was instead of us having to theorize about it still.
Right.
But either way, it is my first time seeing Wise Bandit comment in here.
Welcome, Wise Bandit.
Welcome to the horror fam. You're now one of us. You can never grow old. You can never die. Glad to have you, brother man.
Yeah.
JK, I don't know, but I still love it. Is Tamara here? I love it.
See, I want a prequel that tells you who Tamara is.
Yeah, why didn't we get a prequel?
Like a true prequel.
A true one.
Okay, so because SJM says I agree, horror fans are an excitable bunch, and I get that because I'm worse. I'm a sci-fi fantasy fan, right? Like that's we're even worse, right? So it's like
oh my God.
I love it, I get it, but that's why I have also like sympathy for it. But I am a massive prequel fan because I love backstory. Like I love
the only complaint I have with prequels sometimes is like when they try to give you a story, and it's like, well, we know this son of a bitch can't die. He was in the original. Or,
when they
I don't like. That's the only thing I don't like about prequels. Is like, well, we know that there's really no stakes in this one because
that's a poorly done prequel.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think when they try to put you on edge about your main character's well-being, it's like, we know they live.
I want to know how Wise Bandit found us. Excuse me. He said, just found you guys. I want to know how Wise Bandit, what brought you to the HorrorFam, brother man? Oh, man. And Brian Perry says he loves him some comic book movies.
Me too, Brian Perry.
Heck yes, she does. Yes.
So.
But, man, I mean, you know, I'm going to have to get into reviewing some good ones, and I'm just going to have to, you know, I mean, I feel like that Strangers one, I feel like I have a lot to say about that. And all the bullshit, you know, apparently the most redneckiest place in the world is Oregon. We're going to have to definitely comment on that.
Why is that suddenly popping up in movies as like Oregon is the most redneck place you can go?
I don't know. Hell, I thought it was one of the most progressive.
Here in West Virginia, I'm deeply offended that they're not placing these movies in West Virginia.
Right? And hell, we're not that bad. I mean, I've never seen anything like that, man. Man, oh man. Yeah. Oh, we came across his recommended live stream. I like it. YouTube's hooking us up a little bit. Look at that. I love that, YouTube. Keep up the good work. We're in the good graces of the algorithm. I uploaded a video today. Jadian says, well, review the Emoji Movie. Oh, let's get the camera back on. Review the Emoji Movie.
We might.
You
never know.
Uh-oh. Turn that off. There we go. Oh, man. Yeah, we're not that bad. Q's wrong turn.
Not that bad.
Hey, that's Canada now. They can't steal our thunder. Oh, man. Yeah, Ethan, when something takes 20 or 30 years to get a sequel, that is usually purely for money.
Usually.
Purely, man. Purely. All right, folks, we are at 57 minutes in. Let's go ahead and start winding down, get some last-minute questions and comments going.
Comments. What do you want to know? What can we tell you?
I don't know. So I mean, how did let's see here. What should we review next? We got that. I mean, I'm probably going to do the Strangers Chapter 1 soon.
Okay.
I got some other content coming up, some shocking stuff for the HorrorFam. You know, if they thought
awesome,
they're going to get Longlegs Steve's here soon. And yeah, there you go. Chad's asking, did we see Maxine yet?
Oh, so did Wise Bandit. Boom. Everybody wants to know. No, we have not seen Maxine yet, but we will. Should we review it after we see it?
We might have to. I don't know if I have the cojones to go see another one in theaters this early, though. Nor the money. Jesus God.
Cressman wants to know what we're drinking. Coffee.
Coffee, dude. Coffee all the way, man. Getting that pumped up.
In our Ember mugs. Ember, come sponsor us. Ember, we love your mug so much.
Artsy wants to know, what is our favorite and least favorite horror cliche? I know Anna's a huge fan of when the car doesn't start. I was just gonna say,
I hate it when the car won't start. That's so stupid. When's the last time any of you got into your car and it didn't start? How often does that happen in your entire life? And then it happens, you know, when you're trying to run away from an axe murderer. Come on.
Dude, oh God, my favorite one. Oh, what do you think my favorite one is? I get boobs. Didn't take much thing.
Those are that's his favorite horror.
My least favorite right now and probably of all time, is when the especially now with like the politicized horror, I hate it when they go to these redneck areas, you know, whether it's Oregon, and Oregon is not redneck. That's one of the most damn progressive cut your nuts off states in the country, pal. But when they're like in Texas or West Virginia or something, and they just go in and there's this backwoods redneck guy just talking smack about just being racist, or they're ignorant, or they're incest or something. Like I'm so
redneck stereotypes are your like least favorite horror.
I like it because I like wrong turn and stuff like that, but I'm tired of they're all racist and they're all just backwoods and weird as shit. Like rednecks do redneck. If I would rather break down in West Virginia on a fucking motorcycle, a car, a truck, anything, then I'd rather break down here than anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Because not only are people going to be absolutely nice enough to stop, they're going to know how to fix your shit.
True. We have had people literally fix our car on the side of the road here before. Like we have.
Yeah. Like I'm tired of the bullshit. Like, you know, I mean, I have turned on so many movies where like there's these casts of like young teens and they walk into a diner and there's a redneck sitting there and he just happens to be racist and talking shit. Like I've never seen that in my life until I was on the West Coast. And that's
on the coast.
That was this
Arizona's
year.
Not the coast.
Oh, same shit. West side. I was on the west.
It's still not the coast.
So you know what I'm saying? It's like I wasn't in Texas and saw that.
Arizona's kind of like being in Texas.
I wasn't in Georgia and saw that.
Oh gosh. Okay. So your favorite horror cliche is boobies?
Is boobies all the way.
My favorite horror cliche is I have one I like.
Eye gouges.
Eye gouges.
Yeah, you love your eye gouges.
I love me a good eye gouge.
She does. I can vouch.
I do.
Yep.
The Italians were masters at it. The eye gouge.
Yep. There you go, man. El Chad hitting the well, baby.
That's Georgia.
That was Alabama.
Alabama. I knew it was one of those.
Yeah.
One of those two.
Jadian wants to know what type of horror is better, scary or disturbing? Scary.
Scary.
The disturbing stuff, it is always just a pure trope that they're just trying to cash in on, just like shocking people. So the quality is never good and there's never a good story. It's super rare. Super rare. Martyrs is an exception. Yeah, Martyrs is an exception. You know, there's probably more I can think of that people would consider technically disturbing, but and they're good. They have good writing, but
that one you showed me where the film, you're watching the film backwards.
Oh, Irreversible.
Irreversible. Really disturbing. Really, really well made film. I would never watch it again, but you know what I mean? But it's rare that I'm like, wow, I'm really sorry I watched that, but also it was really good. That's one of them. Like,
yeah.
I'm like really sorry I watched it.
Yeah. Really so, you know, and the world kind of like, because unless you're a hardcore horror fan and like did some digging and watched like the guinea pig films or the Salo and stuff like that, a lot of the world was introduced to the more disturbing stuff when a Serbian film came out, and they were spoiled by that shit because a Serbian film came out, and yes, it was made purely 100% just to be disturbing, but it was, besides like Martyrs or so, it was one of the few that was made at a high quality.
Oh yeah, most of them are
just, it looks like they were shot in the damn Spirit Halloween warehouse, and it's like not good.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, and that's another thing you can say for Irreversible. It's a French film with some of their like top actors. Like it's beautifully acted. And that's gonna be really
absolutely
rare. That's gonna be really rare for a disturbing film.
So a Serbian film, while it was a disturbing, hell, at least it looked good. At least it was watchable. A lot of those, it's just so shitty quality and just horror, like they don't have a story. At least that had a story. Very disturbing for some people, but and now a lot of people are getting introduced into the more disturbing side of things with like Terrifier and Terrifier 2. And once again, no story.
Yeah, so I like scary better. Like scary
all the way, man.
Especially if it's psychologically terrifying. Like I love that. Like scare me in a way that lingers. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of disturbing films disturb me when I'm watching it, and then I walk away and I don't want to ever think about it again. Yeah. Like I love a good psychological horror that it's just messing with my mind for days after. I love that.
I'll give you another good disturbing. It's not a horror film, but it's a good disturbing film, and that would be Requiem for a Dream. Okay. I like that movie a good bit.
I wouldn't say Irreversible is a horror film either. It's a very disturbing film.
It's a disturbing film, but it's
JP wants to know if we had any news of UFO sightings in our area.
We did not.
Oh, nobody saw them but us, apparently.
That's it.
JP, it was just us.
Pinhead says loud noises at cue that you are supposed to be scared suck as well. Yeah. I hate that, man.
Yeah.
I hate that. Give me something that, is relevant to the film I'm watching, please. Brian Perry says, Steven, I watched Tombstone and I love Kurt Russell. That's a great movie.
I'd stand up if I could right now.
Yeah, Val Kilmer kills that role as Doc Holliday too, brother. And
hands down, one of our very favorite films. It's like one of the best ensemble casts literally ever.
Who? Okay, so we have Kurt Russell, we have Sam Elliott, we have Bill Paxton, Michael Biehn, Powers Booth, Michael Rooker's son. Damn. So that movie is stacked.
It's so
stacked.
Good. It's not a horror film, but we don't care.
Yeah. SJM saying, I don't have the guts to watch a Serbian film. That's okay.
That's cool.
That's okay. I mean, you're not.
We'll be sissies. We won't watch it. I meant sisters, like by saying sissies, and then I realized that also means a wimp. But we'll be both.
There you go. Chad says something like Dreamscape, Anna. We watched Dreamscape not too long.
Yeah, you had never seen it before.
I'd never seen it.
See? It is a great example because I hadn't seen it since I was a child, and there are things in it that stick in your brain forever, such that when I found out he had never seen it, I was like, we need to watch it. We need to watch that movie.
Need to watch it.
And I'm glad we did.
So we did.
And it held up. Like totally.
Okay, folks, we're going to wrap it up here in just a minute. I do want to ask, are there any requests for some reviews? I'm going to write them down now and kind of look at them. I mean, we have The Strangers Chapter 1.
Maxine.
And we had My Bloody Valentine. I need to get on that shit ASAP. Mike Snap probably thinks his Poppy have abandoned him. So, Maxine.
Mm-hmm.
The Strangers.
Chapter 1. I feel like you had another request today.
The Emoji Movie?
The Emoji Movie. No. A Violent Nature or
In a Violent Nature. That one's going to be hard for me to get through because you talk about some slow burn shit.
A Pinhead asks for Alien Romulus when it comes out.
Oh damn, Pinhead!
So does JP.
I swear, I told people last night I was not going to do that shit.
I'll do it alone if you don't want to do it. You guys want to see me just do an Alien
Romulus? I've been so abandoned by that series. I've been so betrayed and abandoned and bamboozled. Oh, Abigail. There you go, Chad. There you go. Abigail's. And Chad, we were going to do a My Bloody Valentine podcast. That's something we can look into sooner than later. I have a couple planned instead of a live stream skis.
Pinhead says sure. Pinhead will watch me just do it.
Oh my god.
Alien Romulus review.
Okay. And let me write down.
Oh, good night, JK.
JK,
I hope you feel better, dude.
Take care of yourself, brother, and we love you, dude. Well, I'm gonna rewatch the movie, and so don't feel bad that you suggested it, dude. Listen, there is nothing you could suggest us that Briggs has not outdone you.
Oh, yeah. We're not disappointed we went to see Longlegs. We're glad we had a great time. We're glad we saw it. Don't feel bad.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let you know that, JK, we love you, brother. We 100%. Value. On the way to go see Longlegs, I was like, I take JK's opinion more seriously than anyone else on the internet. Like I was talking about IMDb and shit, because JK. Agreed. I know JK has our best interest in heart.
Absolutely.
Unlike people like Dr. Briggs, who
purposely steers us wrong.
Who gives a shit like life after Beth to what? Life after Beth.
And that movie with the black thing, remember, was just that's what they called the monster.
Oh my god. That's just, and he made me watch Martin and
Artsy wants us to do a review on
I got it.
A Quiet Place They Went.
Yep,
okay, cool.
I got it. Yeah, dude. So all right, folks. All right. If you haven't watched my review, or our review of Longlegs, please go and do that after this. And just, hey, man, even if you don't like it, let it play in the background so that YouTube algorithm kicks in for your boy. And I'm going to work on getting better at those types of reviews and stuff. See if I can't set it up a little better. But yeah, man, please do that, and thank y'all so much for being here. I know we kind of went off the rails anyway and just had some fun, but
they expect it from us.
They expect it. Come on,
right? We're always off the rails.
Well, all right, my friends, keep your eyes out. I got a Strangers Chapter 1 review coming up and some new fun shorts that are going to be super, super good. Super good, I'm telling you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's one way to do that. That is one way to do that, Chad. You have fun. And you have a great night, Pinhead. All right, everybody. We love you so much. We'll see you soon. Stay safe out there, everybody. And as always, look horror.
Listen horror.
All horror. Jeez.
Jeez.